Hi, I'm Karen Rice and welcome to my YouTube watercolour channel. I'm going to be painting a step-by-step atmospheric landscape tutorial, and it's part of my no masking fluid, no problem series, and it's going to have lots of tips and techniques, and one of those is I'm going to be using framing tape, or you could use masking tape to mask out areas instead of using masking fluid. So shall we get started? Here is a list of the materials that I'll be using. A full list can be found in the description below. Just click show more or the little down arrow and it will take you straight there where you can find a link for the photograph that I'm using and links if you'd like to purchase any of the materials as well. These are the colours that I'm going to be using, and if you'd like to have some alternative to these colours, please see the description. So I'm just putting some framing tape on the light areas in the painting because I've got a very loose painting style and I didn't want the paint to run over certain areas, so I'm just protecting them. I've also used some framing tape around the edge because I really like that white border. When you can peel it off the end, it really helps you assess to see if you need to do any more to your painting. I'm wetting the sky and the mountains area now with my large size 14 brush with clean water. Just give this a good soak, and now I'm dropping in Naples yellow, quite diluted, wet into wet. I mixed a puddle of indigo and I'm painting this wet into wet. Just be careful not to go over the Naples yellow or it might go green. Just let it run into it naturally. And as you can see there, I've got my framing tape behind. I've tilted my watercolour paper down towards me so the paint's running nicely, and I'm using my size 14 brush and trying not to touch the painting too much. Less is more, remember, and do some tilting and get that paint moving. It's so much fun. I've mixed up a little sap green here. I'm painting wet on dry with my large size 14 brush. Don't worry about that running up into the sky, just soft and blend it as I'm doing here with a damp clean brush. I've mixed up some indigo now along with a sap green. I'm painting this wet in wet, putting a lot of dark near the water's edge. I've actually mixed up a bit of Naples yellow here and I'm painting that wet on dry, then dropping the sap green in wet on wet, and then the indigo damp into wet to create some lovely dark marks. I'm using my plastic card here to scratch out grasses to create lots of texture in that foreground. Now allow your painting to dry. If you're in a hurry, you can actually blow dry your painting as well. I'm wetting the distant mountains with clean water with my large size 14 brush, really letting that soak in, and I'm dropping in indigo, quite pale, wet into wet at the peak of those mountains there and letting it run down. I'm just peeling off the tape here very carefully on the left hand side. A lot of this was actually to mask out the clouds on the left here. A really good tip would be to use a hairdryer on the tape. The heat will soften the glue and helps prevent the tape from tearing the paper. And now I'm painting in the distant mountains wet into wet using indigo and Paynes grey, just carefully painting this central mountain just to really sort of get it quite dark at the top, at the peak, and then diluting and softening as it goes down towards the bottom. You can drop in some violet and sap green here just to really bring it to life, and I'm using my size 4 brush here just to really define the details and carefully the outline of the mountain. The top part here is a little bit darker, so I'm using my size 4 brush and creamy paint, dropping it in damp into damp. I'm using my plastic card here to scratch into the damp paper. It's much easier on hot press paper to make those marks and ridges in the mountain. As you can see here, I'm removing carefully the tape for the water area. I wanted this nice and light so I didn't lose my light later on. I'm just giving the foreground a little spatter to create some textures using yellows, greens and violets. It's a good time now to dry your painting and let it dry naturally if you can. And now I'm painting the distant mountains wet on dry using my size 4 brush with a very dilute indigo, and then blending and softening the edges. And I'm going to do this on the left hand side as well, just to build up a little bit of detail, but I want to use paler colours so that it recedes and the darker shades come forward to create depth in the painting. I'm actually putting a few darker marks on this right hand mountain with my size 4 brush with a mix of sap green and indigo, just to create a little bit of texture. I'm just building up a little bit of detail as well in the foreground using my size 4 brush with the indigo, the sap green and the yellows, and just painting these little grasses on the water's edge. I've also added a little bit of white as well to create some lighter grasses. If you look at the reference photograph, there's quite a lot of shadows on the left hand side of the mountains. I'm using my size 14 brush with a very dilute indigo and glazing it on the left hand side. I've decided to put a few little ripples in the water with a diluted indigo with my large size 14 brush, just to bring it to life a little bit, especially here in the foreground. I'm getting towards the end of the painting now. I'm just putting in my final darks and details with a few grasses here and there on the water's edge, and putting a few little marks of vegetation and plants in this very foreground area just to bring it to life, and you could even give it a little spatter. I think I'll leave it there for now. I'm really pleased with it, especially the light coming from the water and the sky, and I feel like I've captured that from the reference photograph. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and the tip about using masking or framing tape as a substitute for masking fluid to reserve light areas. If you would like to watch longer videos with lots more tips and techniques, more voiceovers with lots more explanations about the colour mixing and the techniques that I use, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Just click the link in the top right hand corner of this video, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll get updates of my latest videos. For any questions, please put them in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.